And I found a story nestled away, slightly hidden, and I didn't really see it until today, actually, with regard to a Nigerian migrant. And this guy, of course, was residing at one of the hotels. You probably know the hotel, of course, from one of the protests. Remember those guys were hanging outside the window, laughing and mocking the protesters outside? Well, an individual that was residing at this hotel appeared in court yesterday at Highbury Magistrates Court this week after being accused of sexually assaulting two women on separate occasions in Islington. Has squared up to a judge and issued a bit of warning. Now, I'm going to be going through this story. I've got a lot of questions to ask as well with regard to it, but yet another one. Here we are again with an individual like this. And to be fair, I only saw this story, I believe, as I said, the sexual assaults, the two on separate occasions or alleged sexual assaults are horrific enough. But would we have seen and heard about this story, about this individual, this Nigerian migrant, if he didn't square up to a judge at court this week? I probably suspect no. I mean, we've been hearing about loads of different incidents such as these of individuals residing at the asylum hotels, being responsible for alleged sexual assaults. And again, we don't hear about all of these stories, but it's becoming a day-to-day basis where we are hearing things come out. Now, I want to go through what has unfolded in the court. As always, guys, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get involved in the live chat. Let's go through what has happened in a London courtroom. Yes, a shocking scene has unfolded inside a London courtroom, and it raises serious questions about justice, public safety, and the government's asylum system. A Nigerian migrant who's 31 years old, Usala Kamson, appeared before Highbury Magistrates Court this week after being accused of sexually assaulting two women on two separate occasions in Islington. The alleged attacks took place just days apart on August 7th and August 12th, while Kamson was being housed in a taxpayer-funded Thistle City Barbarican hotel. So this was the hotel here, of course, that he was staying at. This isn't just any normal hotel, guys. This hotel boasts nearly 500 rooms, complete with a gym, a spa, a wellness centre, and all paid for by the public purse, while thousands of Britons are struggling. I mean, I keep on stating it all the time, and I will not stop saying it. 6,000 homeless veterans. And as stated, this hotel in particular was the scenes of, it was the centre of heated protests by local residents, furious that their community had been turned into what is essentially a migrant hub. Now, back inside the courtroom, Kamson, who was dressed in a grey prison tracksuit and escorted by 3 prison guards, showed nothing but contempt for proceedings. His own lawyer, Antiva Buddha, told the court that he'd been assessed, of course, under the Mental Health Act and would likely need to be sectioned and sent to a hospital. But Kamson erupted, shouting that he had never signed anything, didn't recognise her as his lawyer, and demanded to be taken to A&E instead. Now, when the presiding magistrate, Jerry Tang, told him to stand and explain the court didn't yet have enough information to proceed, Kamson's behaviour escalated. He squared up to the magistrate, leaned his head against the glass panel in front of him and screamed, "Give me an opportunity to speak. I have never seen this lawyer in my life. Why is she representing me?" Before being dragged off to his cells, he looked directly at the magistrate and chillingly warned, "Just watch." Now, as stated, this was supposed to be a simple plea hearing, yet no pleas were entered, and the case was adjourned yet again with a new date set for September 9th. Now, what makes this even more disturbing is the broader picture. Kamson is not just accused of multiple sexual attacks. He is also a man who fled Nigeria, placed in a taxpayer-funded housing, and is now openly challenging the UK justice system, even squaring up to a judge inside the courtroom. Meanwhile, locals in Islington have already had to take to the streets, organising protests outside. Now, this is annoying. It's here we are again. 2 women have allegedly been assaulted, a taxpayer-funded hotel at the centre of the controversy, and now a man accused of serious crimes behaving aggressively towards the very magistrates tasked in holding him accountable. Now, this isn't just about one man, but who is this? Who does he think he is, this Nigerian migrant who's residing at this hotel? Who the heck does he think he is? He's came in, of course. I don't know how he came in. Again, let's just say, look, staying at these hotels, probably illegal. He's fled Nigeria. Please remind me what's going on in Nigeria, by the way, as to why he's come over here. You know, one of these individuals, of course, playing the game. He's not only just arrived, he's also then sexually assaulted 2 women on 2 separate occasions. And now the guy is trying to play the system with inside the court system. You know, threatening warnings, squaring up to the judges, squaring up in court and demanding things as if he's a British citizen. You know, talking about his lawyers and all this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that really frustrates me. He's already been, you know, if he does, of course it's going through a court hearing, so we can't, you know, speculate on if he did. We have to use the term alleged. So allegedly sexually assaulted 2 women, and now he's, of course, demanding what he is and should be getting. Why is this even a thing? This guy has come into the country, been put into a hotel at the expense of the taxpayers, allegedly committed a heinous act. He should be deported. He should have been gone. Why are we being held to account with individuals such as this? This guy making demands as if he's, you know, he deserves it. Making demands. Why are we such a soft touch with this? This is absolutely diabolical. And to be fair, if he didn't square up to the judge in the court, then we probably wouldn't even heard about this one. I never even heard about this guy. I didn't even hear about this one from the hotel. We hear a lot about what's going on from outside these hotels and alleged sexual assaults that keep on coming and crimes that keep on coming outside from people that are staying at these hotels, but I didn't even hear about this one. So how many are actually going on? What is actually going on? This is why the British people were so frustrated right now. They're so frustrated. And just 2 weeks ago, we seen these protests happening outside of this hotel. It really boils my piss. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It really, really boils my piss as to what's happening. This guy, I always like looking into individuals here and as to where they've come from and why we're housing these guys. At the last time I remember, what the heck is going on in Nigeria? Fled in Nigeria. Let me ask ChatGPT. I know this ChatGPT is a little bit woke, but let me put in, why would a individual flee illegally from Nigeria to the UK? Let's see what ChatGPT gives me an answer as to why. There are a mix of push factors in Nigeria and pull factors in the UK. So, do you know what comes up first on ChatGPT? Actually, I'll screenshot this, by the way. Economic hardship. Nigeria has a high unemployment, especially among young men. Even those with education often struggle to find stable work. Inflation, currency devaluation, and worsened living conditions, making an escape to Europe appear more attractive. Corruption and governance issues, security concerns. Certain religions are plagued by violence. Some claim asylum in the UK, citing persecution, tribal conflict, or threats from armed groups, social pressure, and family expectation. Families often see migration as a path to financial salvation. Even if the risks are very high, young men are pressured to make it abroad and send remittance home. Why the UK specifically? Established Nigerian community. Perceived opportunities. Asylum and welfare system is a huge sector here, and what ChatGPT is saying. The UK asylum process allows individuals to remain in the country for long periods while their claims are reviewed. Free accommodation like migrant hotels, legal aid, healthcare, and sometimes allowances can act as incentives. Even if asylum is denied, enforcement of removals is patchy, creating the perception that once in the UK, one can stay. So here's ChatGPT, by the way, saying why an individual would flee, because I didn't know what's going on in Nigeria. And to be honest with you, those push factors as to why one would leave Nigeria is pretty laughable. But looking at the pull factors, you know, ChatGPT is laying it all out there about the asylum and welfare system is completely broken. Even if asylum is denied, enforcement of removals is patchy, creating the perception that once in the UK, one can stay. So yeah, this guy, of course, again, this just goes to show how broken this system is. We already know that. I'm not going to keep on repeating how broken this system is, but we've got a guy here who's came over, and I don't know if he came over on small boat. I don't know if he came over anywhere, but all we know is that he was residing at the Barbican Hotel in Islington. He's now on trial, or he's at least, you know, he's been jailed, or he's been arrested and appearing in court over 2 alleged sexual assaults. And now whilst he's in there, he's demanding all of this stuff. He's squaring up to judges. This guy has no respect to the system, the country whatsoever. Clearly, if what he has been alleged to have done is true, we'll find out in due course. But the way he's acting in the court system is almost like the country owes him something. Oh, I don't even know who this lawyer is. Hold on a second. Well, put your money in your own pocket and get your lawyer then, mate. Do you know what I mean? He obviously skin-toed. He ain't got any money to get his own lawyer in through the door, so he's going to be getting one that's given to him. If he wants to make demands like that, he has to do what everyone else has to do. Go pay for your own freaking lawyer, mate. Do you know what I mean? And then going out there and squaring up and saying, just you watch. Just you watch what, mate? What are you going to do? This is the problem. These are the individuals that are currently residing. Well, not all of them. I have to be careful what I say online, of course. But, some of them, individuals that are residing at these hotels are like this. No respect for the system whatsoever. And this guy, freaking hell, I can't believe what I'm reading. And more to the point, I wouldn't even heard about these alleged sexual assaults if it wasn't for him squaring up to judges in the court. Idiots. Let's have a little look at the live chat, troops. Gary says they all walk around like that. Just look at the entitlement they show whenever anyone films them. I wave the flag every single day, Julius. 6,000 homeless veterans. Keep on saying that figure, and it probably rises every single day. I will not stop saying it in every single live stream that I do on this channel. 6,000 homeless British veterans in this country right now. 6,000. And I can't remember the actual figure, but it's in the tens of thousands of people that are currently residing at the taxpayers' expense that are quote-unquote asylum seekers. Hope judge sends him down, then, or he has Starmer sent judge tell him to let him go. It's not about sending him down. We don't want to have this guy responsible. We don't want to be responsible for this because he's still going to be a burden on the tax. And to be fair, he's probably like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to jail. You heard about the stuff that's happening with the Southport killer, TV, DVD, all of this stuff. This is a holiday camp for him. He's probably thinking, you know what, this is pretty good. This is cushy. We shouldn't have to deal with these foreign criminals. If he is charged for what he has done, he should have been deported. But of course, we know that that's not the case in the UK. And that's half the problem, unfortunately. It's not about sent down. Of course you want him sent down if he did what he did. Of course you do. In a normal world. But realistically, we don't want to be dealing with these guys. We don't want them. They should just be they should have been deported anyway when they came in. But if they are committing crimes like that, then they should be gone. They should be gone. They'd be doing something else. Detained and deported. Tai Lung says Belarus, Russia and Arabian countries wouldn't allow this. And there lies the point. As stated, people can say what they want about Russia, but they don't have this problem. People can say what they want about the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Egypt. They don't let these people in. They don't want them in. They don't want them in. Qatar, all of these ones. They don't want them in at all. And they send the warning, by the way. Oh yeah, more to the point, says Julie, playing the mental health card as an excuse for his bad behaviour. So his lawyer's actually trying to get him a cushy position in terms of sent to a hospital or whatnot, and trying to sort of acquit him of that, or acquit him of responsibility, and he's still moaning. I've never seen this lawyer in all of my life. To be fair, shame on that lawyer. She's trying to freaking help him out. Take accountability out of his own hands and his actions. Saying that he needs to be, sectioned in a hospital somewhere. That's the cushy life, if you know that, in the criminal. He avoids jail. See some of these lunatics that we're getting crossing over and staying in the country. No wonder why people are so outraged. Because you've got some of these, we don't know who they are. Annoying. Very, very annoying. But guys, thank you for tuning in. We've got plenty of other things that keep on coming up as well today. Of course, Operation Raise the Colours is in full force. I've got an excellent clip that was, of course, shared yesterday. A British person, a lefty, as we call him, going around at night with a ladder, pulling the flags down. This is what you're up against. So some people against the British flag that are actually British or are meant to be British. They're choosing their side. It's disastrous. But he was arrested, actually, credit to the police, because he was stealing property that wasn't hit to him. But that's part of the problem. You've got these lefties that are taking down flags that are meant to be British. Annoying. Absolutely frustrating. But guys, thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below with regard to this story. It's outrageous.